in, when we sign in under her email and password, it just says it doesn't match any suggestions. So it might be locked out or something. They might have to go through password reset, and there might be a flow to upgrade. And where we sign in under her email and password, it just says it doesn't match any. Well, then let's kick it off. Obviously, you can see Guy and I are already well at work for the day. Welcome to the call, guys. This is Monday Sprint Planning. My name is E.R. Wolf. I'm one of the co-founders here at LFI. I'm joined with my partner over there, Guy Toole. We're so happy to have you guys on for this short 15-minute overview on sprint planning. And then we're going to break it into a closed group discussion, really. And what sprint planning is, it's about making a plan for the next 5 to 7 days and then being laser focused on executing the elements of that plan so that we can make forward progress to get from where we are to where we want to go. And every week we do this, we do it on a weekly basis. That means we're going to do this 52 times throughout the year. You're only focused on this week. So whatever you're working on, that's a year ahead of you. You know, whatever you're working on, that's, a quarter ahead of you, a month ahead of you. Don't get distracted. Be focused right in the here and the now and working on what is your plan for the next 5 to 7 days, and then singularly focused on one day at a time, one item at a time, one thing at a time. So I think that's critical. I think a lot of people get lost in the quagmire, Guy, of like, what does my next year look like? And how am I going to solve everything that I want to get in 1 year, when we just need to execute on the things we need to get done today. And the results in a year will magically happen as a result of taking care of the things. And it's not magic, it's just the process that we're in. We call it sprint planning. There are other elements like retrospective. You can do that on a weekly basis or a daily basis. I'd encourage you to get to the point where you're even doing it on a activity by activity basis in real time. But we'll talk about that as we go along. And every week we kick it off with a theme. We know we've talked about what is possible in the past. We've talked about believe in the past. This week's theme is going to be, who are you, guys? Who are you? Think about it. So let's take a step back and think about it. Guy, I'm going to talk for a few minutes. I'll kick it over to you here in a second. But I was thinking about this from the standpoint of relationships. And we know that Shuffle has a relationship building solution baked into the feature set of Shuffle. And we want to be thinking about not only who we are, right, but also who they are, because there's two people in every relationship. When you take a step back and think about it, we're dealing with two personalities. So the first thing you want to understand is who you are, right? Take an opportunity and think about I am, and think about writing down a list of all the things that you specifically are, because you are unique. I am. I was telling Guy, like, I am a guy, right? I'm 40 years old. I'm a father. I'm a husband, right? I'm an entrepreneur. These are all things, but it's a little bit bigger at the macro level than what I do. That's the other thing. What do you do? Because you need to have a clear vision of who you are and what you do if you're going to serve other people, meaning serve your customers, right? And help your customers. The other thing I like to think about is, who are they? And Guy, you and I both know we give everybody a Google maybe before we have that first conversation with them. If we've never met them before, we try and gather as much information about that person. And part of the relationship building process is to continue to collect information about that person as we interact with them, because we know people do business with people they know, like, and trust to help them solve their problems. And that's part of building the bridge. So again, I don't want to get too philosophical here. I was telling Guy, as we were talking before we jumped on here, but we do want to step back and think of, who are we? I am, try that practice. And then who are they? And again, throughout the week when you're planning, you're going to have a bunch of stuff going on. You're going to need to prioritize the important stuff. I know we've got 5 live calls this week. You guys know we have 5 live calls this week. This is one of them. And we're going to have 15 minutes of live. So maybe you're live streaming this now. Then we're going to open it up for 30 to 45 minutes of conversation, a closed group conversation. So if you're watching this either in replay or on the live stream and you want to join that conversation, you're going to want to make sure you get the week at a glance card and you start joining these live Zooms so that you can benefit from the dialogue that happens after these short trainings. Okay, we want to think about what else do we have going on this week. Maybe we've got Tech Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Time, where we're going to dig into the technology and think about this, guys. Who am I? Not only at the micro or the macro level, but at the micro level, what do you do? How do you introduce yourself to people? Do you have a card that serves that purpose? And do you have cards to send the right information to the right person at the right time? We're going to focus on that on Tuesdays like we do each and every week. Wednesday, we're going to have our influencer live stream. Guy and I will be live streaming through the influencer group. So if you're part of that group on Facebook, you'll be able to view that. If you're not part of that group, consider joining it so that you have that information, because we're all influencers in one way or another. Even if we have influence or wield influence over one person, we can count ourselves as a micro or a nano influencer. That'll roll us into a deeper conversation on this week's topic, Thursday's roundtable discussion. Again, who are you? Take some time to think about it this week and then join the conversation on Thursday, and we'll wrap up the week on Friday with the Founders. Guys, that's 5 things that we can all have on our schedules, on our calendars, on our plans for this week. But the buck doesn't stop there, right? The buck doesn't stop there. That's where it gets started. That's the refill that Guy and I offer. Remember last week, Guy says we do not do one big rah-rah event every year. Maybe we'll do one big rah-rah, but we do this consistent daily activity to make sure that we will skill and refill on a daily basis. This is part of why we do those calls. But you need to do more in addition to just those 5 Zooms, guys. There's things that you're doing in your primary business. There's things you might be doing in your LFI business. You need to focus on what those things are, make your list, and then prioritize those items. Try and knock out 2, 3, 5 of those a day. And then again, retrospective each day. How far did you get? Did you accomplish what you set out to do? And the reality is, you don't have to be at 100% to win the day. You have to be about 60% of what your objectives are to make forward progress on each day. If you're doing a retro every day, just put a little W or an L at the end of the day. If you're like my wife, you like to check things off the list or strike through the calendar, whatever best serves you and your advancement forward, put that little win or that little L during the day, just in a quick little retro at the end of the day. Did I win today? Did I get 60% or more? Did I do my lives? Did I do my meetings? Did I do my calls? Did I do my follow-ups? Did I do my outreach? Did I do my prospecting? Did I do my networking? All of those items that could collectively make up what you're working on.
That was off the top of his head too.
Right? And then we're going to go through and look at it at the end of the week. That's the week retro, right? That's the week retro. How did I do this week? Did I have more W's on the board than I have losses? This is how teams in all team sports or even individual sports look at the season, right? What are the wins? What are the losses? And are we going to be champions at the end of the season? Because I know there's a champion inside each and every one of us. And so that's what we're going to do it. And we're going to do it as a community together here within the LFI network. So Guy, with that being said, I'm going to jump off the soapbox here, throw it over to you to add to the conversation. Then we'll wrap up this live. We'll have our internal discussion, everybody. Thank you so much.
I think to continue on with this from the aspect of getting a good little training in here in the next few minutes is to take the concept and then that idea of who am I and write everything down. Mm-hmm. Take it from the macro and put it to the micro, right? We continue to talk about take care of those little ones, mark off those little ones. Those are little type of things that could be created to share. You know, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, son, brother, uncle, friend, homeowner, business owner, business partner, speaker, communicator, connector. And connector is one of the most important things to think about when we're working in an economy where we're wanting to work with others, where we're looking for other people to support. I think is some of the biggest things. That's what LFI is about, is being able to be a support mechanism, to be a bridge. Was on early this morning, and thank God for push notifications. I got a push notification saying I needed to be on a call in 10 minutes. I took a 10-minute, I took about a 30-second to a minute shower, did my hair, got dressed. I was ready to go. Yeah. I got that push notification at 5:50 my time this morning. So I had to get going. That's just part of me. I'm an adapter. I can adapt, I can adjust, I can go with the flow, because I totally forgot that I scheduled that meeting last week. And thank God that I was on it, because there's some amazing things happening from that meeting, from being able to understand who are they and who can they help and who do they know. And some of the names that start popping out are pretty phenomenal, from the aspect of a lot of people know who those individuals are that they know specifically, have had dinner at their house, vice versa, came to their house. So it's a really good just activity to step back and say, who am I?
Yeah.
And then to ER's point, okay, this is who I am. Who do I know? Yeah. Who are they?
Who are they?
How can I connect with them? If a connector is one of the biggest things that I believe the LFI community individuals are, how do I know these people? How can I potentially inspire them, to show them there's different ways of communicating, there's different ways of connecting and networking?
Yeah.
Right? We all know of networking groups out there where you pay to be a part of a network. It might be regional, it might be a national based. I know that, within your own communities, you have your chambers, you have your Rotaries, and those type of communities. And what they're developed for is to network and build community, and to build business, and to refer business, and to grow friendships and relationships. We're doing that on a digital scale.
Yep.
Here at LFI. Like that's that first approach that we do here at LFI, is it's online. We're communicating with people all across the country, all across the world, within the community. But what's beautiful about it is you don't just have to be digital. You can be offline. You can be face to face. You can be at those networking events and saying, we're building community here. We can also expand this community. We can go digital with this community and make it so much more powerful.
Yeah.
Because not all of our friends and family live in one location. Some of us do, some don't. But there's community that they have that might be in a different region within the country. To say, you know what, there's a way where we can work together, and by knowing who can come into the fold is a way that we can start reaching out to them. Yeah. Everyone, I guarantee everyone is looking for something to help them take the next step, to help them do something new. Yeah. We always talk about the individuals that have the 9-to-5 and then their side hustles, which their side hustles they wish could be their primary. How can we take those primaries or those side hustles and make them primary? To expanding and getting information out about those. I know we've talked in the past, and individuals saying that they're always on, they're always talking their business, they're always talking the solution that they're using to help get information out about their business. You have to have a presence of who you are. You should know a presence of who we're talking to, and how can we bring them into the fold? How can we extend that hand, be that bridge to help them get information out? So hopefully that's good for everyone watching live, and for everyone over on YouTube. A good little training to maybe just write some of that stuff down this week. A big thing from coaching past that can continue on into our lives here at LFI is, later on this year, we talked the James Clear book, Atomic Habits, and being 1% better every day. Just being better every day, being better than I was yesterday. And then to look at it as, okay, if today is a scoreboard and it can either be 1 to 0 or 0 to 1, I'm going to win today. I'm going to win this week. I want to make sure it's 1-0 every day, 1-0 every week. That goes back to our football analogies and playing every week. You wanted to be 1-0.
Yeah.
You couldn't be 2-0 because you didn't have 2 games, and you can't be 2-0 because we're not looking to next week. We're looking to 1-0. 1-0. And then when you get to that championship game, all you're trying to do is to be 1-0. So hopefully that helps a little bit with the explanation of what this week's going to be about. Who am I? Who are you? We'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow on the Tech Tuesday. We're going to continue on live here with everyone joining us on Zoom. Everyone